With this video, we're going to look at adding titles and also dealing with sound and then exporting the video. So first of all, with our clips in here, we've got the original sound associated with the clip. We don't need that original sound in ours. So if you right click on a clip and choose unlink, you can then come in and select just the audio portion itself and hit delete. This is going to clean up any giggling or just random stuff that might be happening in the background of your clip that we don't need. So unlink and then delete the sound. And then you can bring in any music from that is royalty free, so the YouTube library works great for that. I've already downloaded something, so I'm just going to come to File, Import, go to my downloads, and let's grab the chicken song. And we're going to, when we drag that in, make sure it's down here below on an audio track. So right now if I hit play, I'm going to hear the music and see the video clips. But we still need to add the titles in here. And I want to start my film with the title. So if I use my select tool, which is this arrow here, I can click and drag on those clips and move them down so that 5 seconds in, I can tell on my timeline right here that that's 5 seconds. That gives me a place for my opening title and then for my movie clips to start. To make a title, we're going to go up to File, New, and then Legacy Title. Give it a name. So for this one, we'll name it Opening Title. And this brings up our edit box. We can get the type tool, put in the name of your film, so Camera Shots, and then put who it's by. If you select the whole thing, you can come over here and play with different fonts. You can bold, you can center, play with your leading. So all your text stuff that we've played with before is here. And then I'm going to get my select tool and center that on my frame a little bit better. I don't have to hit File Save. Just the fact that I'm in here in this title editor is going to automatically save it, and I can see it down here in my project bin. So I'm going to close the editor and then drag my title over to my timeline. And now I've got that opening title and then going into my clips. But I also need to label each one of those clips. This looks like an extreme close-up here. So I'm going to do a title one more time. I'm going to do New, Legacy Title. Name this one Extreme Close-Up. Click on OK. Now right now we're seeing part of the clip in here. That's just because the playhead is overlapping it. Wherever that playhead is what you're going to see within the title editor. It's not actually in the title itself. But it's helpful to have that playhead over where you want the text to go if you're doing an overlay like we're trying to do now. So I'm going to get my type tool. I'm going to click in here that this is an extreme close-up. Please pick one font and one color and stick with it for consistency. I'm going to come over here and change my color to a black. I'm going to bold the font, make it a little bit bigger. And just stick that down in the corner. These are your safety guidelines. You really don't want to put type outside of your type safe guidelines there. I'm going to close this. And because I typed in black, we can't see it here. But when I bring it and put it above the clip that it's meant to be on, we can see that that overlays nicely. And if you need to come in and clean up the timing of your clips, in fact, we can see my opening title is still showing when my first clip starts. So I'm going to zoom in on that and just drag that over. So now that the titles match up with what the clips are that we're seeing. So you're going to want to make sure that you put a title on each one of your clips. Make sure that you name it correctly. At the end, we want to have rolling credits. So I'm going to do one more new title, legacy title. This is my credits. I'm going to click on OK. And up here towards the top left is your button that you can choose to animate the title. So by default it's still, the text just sits there. But I can come in and choose roll, and that means that my text will scroll up and down. If you choose a crawl, that's a vertical animation, kind of like the text at the bottom of your newsreel or something. So I'm going to go ahead and do a roll. And I also want my text to start off the screen and end off the screen. So these are just settings. I'm going to click on OK. I still need to get my type tool and come in and tell it what I want it to say. So you could just put in there the team members, myself, I, someone like me. So as long as the actual names of the people are in your credits, that's what I'm looking for. But if you want to be creative and come in and put in like a cinematographer, helps spell it right, cinematographer, and then tab over and put a name, Lisa, director, tab over, Lisa. So you're welcome to put some other credits in there as well, but ultimately I just want a bunch of stuff in here. At the very least, the names of your team members. But I'm going to close that out in my project bin. I'm going to grab my credits and bring that over and stick it at the end of my film. And if I hit play and watch that, that's going to automatically scroll for me. The speed of that scroll is based off of how long your credits are. So the longer you make this credits clip, the slower it's going to scroll. Please don't make it so short that the speed of it is so fast I can't read it. We want to make sure that you can read the credits. Okay, so we have titles, we have sound. One thing that we can do to polish this a little bit more is add transitions. So I'm going to come and click on my effects button right here, and I can see these listed, and we're just going to be dealing with video transitions. Really truly, when you watch movies, most of the transitions in here remind you more of like obnoxious PowerPoint stuff. You're not going to see these things in a real film. But what you do commonly see is things like a crossover. So if I open up into Dissolve and I get this cross dissolve, and I just drag it and put it at the top of my opening title, now when I hit play, you can see that title fade in. And then I can also take a cross dissolve and put that between things. So this is now going to, I don't know that I like the cross dissolve on my title, so I'm actually going to take that off of there. So I just clicked on it and hit delete. But I do want to put a cross dissolve on my clips. Let's see what that looks like. Well, they've got to overlap in order for that to work. Let's do this. I need the footage to overlap just a little bit in order for a cross dissolve to really look nice. So I'm going to bring this down and stick that there. But now we'll see the footage of the transition on there. So it was very subtle, but it was there. You can adjust the length of your cross dissolve by double clicking on it. And like if I came in and put in 4 seconds on here, almost the entire clip is going to be fading out. Kind of defeats the purpose there. But that's how transitions work. If you don't want to do the cross dissolve, if you want to play with something a little bit different, I'm okay with this, having some of the more creative transitions in there. You just wouldn't use them in a real film. So what if we came in and tried something like a slide and a split? If I put that on there and hit play, you can see how that just looks different between the transitions. But that cross dissolve is really nice if you put it on all of the titles. Or we could do a fade in, fade out, dip to black. Don't do dip to black on the titles. You could also, if you want, leave a gap in your footage, so if it fades to black, so that way it fades out, and then we come in with a cross dissolve on both the title and on the clip. Let's bring these down. Bring that again, cross dissolve on the end of the title, cross dissolve on the clip. So when we watch this, now our original title fades out. We fade in with the clip and the title. Both of those fade out. And we can bring that in about right there, get the cross dissolve again. So you get the idea. So transitions just kind of give it a polish on there. So I'd like to see some transitions in your film. You don't necessarily have to put it all on the whole thing, but I'd like to see a few transitions. At the very least, a fade in at the beginning and then the fade out at the end before you go to your credits in there. So titles, sound, and credits are what I'm looking for with your 17 shots in your final film.